everybody, and welcome back to Saint-Jean-d'Angely, round 3 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. This is the MXGP of Europe, and we are live for the second half of the program. MX2 Race 2 coming up in just a few moments' time, all 30 minutes plus 2 laps of it. Well, the town of Saint-Jean-d'Angely on the southwest coast, about an hour and a half north of Bordeaux. And it's a quaint little town as well. Typical French architecture, old buildings, just very, very scenic and typically French. But we're not here to be tourists. We're here to watch the best riders in the world duke it out to see who can stand on the top step of the podium here at round 3 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. A generous crowd here on that bank overlooking the racetrack, which underwent some changes in the past 12 months. We've got 1 or 2 changes on the racetrack, a longer run from turn 1 to turn 2, a different turn 3 that is 90 degrees straight down into turn 4 rather than the old dogleg. The dirt now starting to dry out. We've had about 1 hour of sunshine in the break, so that clay dirt is now starting to dry. It's starting to get tacky. Our track crew have been out and worked wonders as well. But if you're joining us for the first time, take a look at the center of the screen. The finish line. Just after that, that triggers the timing beam. A few corners later, after the uphill waves, that is the end of sector 1. A few corners later, at the top of the next hill, turn right, that's sector 2, done and dusted. Sector 3 ends on the exit of turn 1. And then, of course, a few corners after that, we hit the finish line, and that is sector 4. The racetrack just over 1,600 meters long. We're pretty much at altitude here. It's hard packed. There's crowning rock underneath, so it's very hard and slick as well. But try telling the French fans that here. They're some of the most die-hard, hardcore fans you will ever meet, and they have been into this right from the very first lap of practice on Saturday, and they do really know how to create an atmosphere. Well, if you weren't with us earlier on, here's what happened in MX2 Race 1 a little earlier on today. MX2 Race 1, over on the right side, about 6 gates in, the number 1 defending champion, Kaida Wolf, with the 29th gate pick after a technical issue in the qualifying race. Carlos Racelis in yellow on the 47, Monster in his Yamaha. He bagged his first foxhole shot of the campaign, and the new championship leader, number 26, with the red plate on that white Husqvarna, Liam Everts, he was there in second. Sasha Kunin, who had a great, massive crash in the qualifying race, he was there, found his way from 3rd to 2nd, tried to give an elbow to his fellow Belgian. Thibault Benistant, the French rider, was in 4th in red. Andrea Adamo, the Italian, was alongside Thibault Benistant when he ran off track, so he held a nice tight line when he had that off-track excursion to make sure he didn't gain or lose any positions. Everts then took over at the lead on lap 3, and then shortly after that, the floodgates opened as Langenfelder moved into 2nd. Adamo on the 80 moved into 3rd. All of a sudden, Racelis was 4th and then 5th as Kunin came through. Then Thibault Benistant and Kaida Wolf. Eventually, Racelis fell back to 11th place. Everts eventually got caught by Langenfelder, who then took over the lead, and then Adamo found his way past as well later on. But De Wolf, not giving up, eventually came home to 6th place as Adamo picked off Everts to take 2nd. But his first race win of the year, Simon Langenfelder from Andrea Adamo, Liam Everts, Sasha Kunin and Thibault Benistant. Lisa Leyland was down on the grid a few moments ago. She caught up with the 47 of Carlos Racelis. Before that, Andrea Adamo.
So we are almost ready for the penultimate race of the day, which will be MX2 Race 2. Let's catch up with some of the main protagonists of that first race, being Andrea Adamo from Red Bull KTM Factory MX2 team. Andrea, you look like you were really pushing out there. You made a nice move on Everts for 2nd. It looked like you were feeling comfortable.
No, definitely I was, because I had good feeling and good flow around the track. At one point I lost a little bit on the guys in front of me, and I had to, let's say, reset and find back the feeling. But yeah, I think I did good. I pushed till the end. Also Simon was fast, so we were, I think, a little step ahead of everybody, and we were putting good laps. So yeah, let's hope that I can do the same or better for second motor.
Andrea, as a rider, how do you deal with the constant changing conditions? 1 minute it's raining, 1 minute it's sunny. You know, it's constantly changing out there and being very unpredictable.
Yeah, it's difficult to deal with. It's difficult to deal with it because you don't know what is going to happen and you cannot prevent or control. So I'm just hoping that it's not going to rain, that we will survive till the end, and I think it'll be good. So yeah, I really hope that there's going to be a good race for me.
Best of luck. Thank you, Andrea. Now let's catch up with Monster Energy Yamaha Factory MX2 rider Carlos Razulas. Carlos, in that first race, you got a good start. You were leading the way at one point, but then things didn't really go to plan. What happened?
Yeah, the start was really good. I get whole shot, and then yeah, I'm a bit coming back from a shoulder injury I sustained in Kozar, and then yeah, the shoulder was not feeling too well, but it's not really an excuse in my opinion. But yeah, otherwise I need to work on my rhythm during the race.
Okay. Well, with a track like this, you did get the foxhole shot, but on a track like this, with the changing conditions and the track conditions out there, where is the best gate pick? Where is the best place to start?
The best gate pick is, yeah, I think, yeah, the gate pick what I will choose, you will see. That's the best gate pick.
All right, so you're not going to, can you tell me?
Maybe after the race we can discuss, but you will see me on the best gate.
You don't want to give away your tactics, I totally understand. Well, best of luck for the second race. Okay, good luck to all the guys. It's time for MX2 Race 2.
Carlos Razulas there, playing it very, very coy. And yeah, I wasn't sure if he was going to mention the shoulder injury there because I was talking to the team owner up in the paddock during the break, and he mentioned it. So there you go. Anyway, here's the calendar. We're round 3, Saint-Jean d'Angely, the MXGP of Europe. Still plenty of racing to go. 20 rounds this year. Look at the last 3 rounds, though. Turkey, a week later China, a week after that Australia. We get a week off, maybe come back to Europe and head east to the US for the Monster Energy FIM Motocross Nations, or continue on your journey west to the west coast, maybe even go direct to the nations and then back to Europe. Either way, we're pretty much going around the world in 5 weeks. Here's how the riders line up for MX2 Race 2, exactly as they did for Race 1, based on their finish in the qualifying race on Saturday. Thibault Benistant, back-to-back pole positions for the Monster Energy Yamaha rider. A week ago in Spain at Kozar, and now here in France at home. Simon Langenfelder, second to the gate, ahead of Liam Everts, who continues to lead the championship after the Belgian took over the lead in the qualifying race yesterday. He came in with a 2-point advantage. He's now extended that to 7 over Langenfelder, and De Wolf dropping to 3rd in the championship. But as the riders line up behind the gate, it will be Thibault Benistant, Langenfelder, Everts, McClellan, Adamo, Sasha Kuhn, Valerio Latta, Carlos Razulas, Kaz Volk, Sankey, Werder, Braceras, Oriol, and the rest. Liam Everts, the star in Husqvarna Factory Racing, finished 3rd in race 1, had a stint early on in the race, the first third of the race, where he led for 6 laps. He now extends his lead to 119 points over Langenfelder, who is on 112, 7 points further back. Andrea Adamo, he sits in 4th in the championship. He has gained a position. He's now just 13 off of Langenfelder and De Wolf, who are tied for 2nd. Langenfelder, your winner from race 1 for the first time this year. Hasn't had a win since round 17 last year in Switzerland. So that will do the German no end of good, I'm sure. And Kai de Wolf, a tough day at the office yesterday in the qualifying race, giving him 29th gate pick, which means he's probably going to be over on the right-hand side once again, unless he sneaks to the inside, and he has. He's gone to the right of the doghouse there. Look at the riders lined up. 9, Benistant, 26, Everts, the 80 of Adamo, the 1 of the defending champion, Kai de Wolf. Few spare gates over on this side. The Fly Racing 15-second board up for the final time today. Here at Saint-Jean d'Angely, the MXGP of Europe, MX2 Race 2. Langenfelder, your winner from race 1. Adamo 2nd, Everts 3rd, Kuhn, Benistant, De Wolf and Latta. They were your top 7, who will be vying for the podium in about 35 minutes from now. Gate drops. Sasha Kuhn and Simon Langenfelder. Whoa, Langenfelder and Kunin duke it out for the foxhole shot. We need to tidy that one up, but it's Sasha Kunin who leads. And Mathis Valant second on the 317 green Kawasaki. Everts around the outside of Langenfelder, who's probably going to take the Belgian wide, but can't. And Everts from fourth to second. Sasha Kunin down again. The second big crash for the Belgian. He crashed down there last year as well. This one even bigger than before. And that bike looks like it may be written off, the way that he's gesticulating there. Or he's maybe just thinking, why? Why me? Why now? Why again? Everybody else taking evasive action, and that has allowed Langenfelder to sneak into the lead. Everts second, Valant third. A brave Sasha Kunin rejoins the race, kicking the handlebar, trying to straighten the thing out. The first big moment of the conclusion of this Grand Prix. Kunin, who was fourth in race one, is not going to be landing on the podium here at round 3. Langenfelder leads, Everts second, Adamo now up into third with that pass at the top of the hill. Thibault Benistant in red on the number 9. He is in 5th, trying to go around his fellow countryman. He goes outside, cuts back to the inside. They're going to be side by side as they pop back into view, as are Adamo and Everts. Everts with the red number plate, 26 on the white Husqvarna. Adamo sneaks through, though, into second. And Everts blasts back around the outside, regains a position. Knows he's got a healthy championship lead, healthy-ish anyway, if you can call 7 points healthy. He'll lose 3 to Langenfelder. He'll lose 2 more to Adamo if he finds his way past. We could even see a red plate change hands once again this weekend, and for the second time at this Grand Prix alone. Valant around about 6th place at the bottom of the hill. But Adamo nips to the inside, takes the line away on the exit from Everts and goes back into second. Benistant now up into 4th on the Yamaha, number 9 in red. Everts not keen to let go of that second position, and while these two are tripping each other up, Simon Langenfelder just gradually sneaking a couple of tenths here and there. Oh, nice move again for Everts, just like he did a lap ago. He's utilising that outside and that first half wave to good effect. Back past and back into second. Valant in 5th place. He's found his way past Kasvolk. So Everts definitely knows he's got a fight on his hands in the form of the 80 of Adamo. The green flash of Kawasaki that we saw there a minute ago. Mathis Valant on the KRT, the factory racing Kawasaki team. Oh, Adamo had to soak up there. Back off. That's allowed Everts to sneak an advantage, but not much. Deja vu between these two from a lap ago. And again, the same result as Everts goes around the outside. Adamo's going to take him wide, though. Everts somehow hanging on to that second place. For now, at least. Adamo comes back, changes tack, cuts back to the inside. Everts tries to square him off. Runs it in hot around the outside. The momentum is there. Adamo knows it as well. Tried to shut him out. But Everts sneaks away through and holds an inside line. He realises Adamo passed him there a lap ago. Not falling for the same trick twice, the Belgian. Adamo untidy out of that right-hand turn after the finish. That's allowed Thibault Benistant in red here to close in. Benistant, the Frenchman, in 4th place. He is eyeing up a podium, but he's some points away from that at the moment. Everts line here, he goes slightly wider, gets better drive there, look, and then doubles his way into those waves. That's where he's gaining ground on Adamo, but Adamo had to go defensive because Thibault Benistant has closed in that 4th place. Launching downhill again, we are on lap 3. Simon Langenfelder has a fragile lead. Oh, and he knack-knacks his way through the turn. The left leg getting hooked on the rut. Somehow he managed to stay upright. Hasn't allowed Everts to gain, but Benistant sneaks up on the 80 of Adamo. He moves into third. The French fans erupt. Thibault Benistant now third for Monster Energy Yamaha and France. Back down the start straight, the roar of the French crowd urging on Thibault Benistant on his Yamaha number 9 as he homes in and closes in on the number 26 red plate holder, Liam Everts. Championship lead down to 4 points as it stands right now. Everts on 141, Langenfelder on 137. De Wolf, who is currently in 7th place, he's going to be down there in 126. So he's got some work to do, and he's just at the back of this freight train of riders. He'll come into view at the top of the hill there, just behind Mathis Valin on the Kawasaki. Kaz Volk, I think, has snuck back past. He has, into 5th place. Volk up to 5th, Valin down to 6th, De Wolf in 7th, Zanke in 8th, Braceras 9, Oriol Oliver, and then we've got Camden McClellan on the Triumph. He's in 10th. In fact, he's found his way into 10th with a move on Oliver just at the end of the lap. Everts is very efficient through this part of the racetrack, and all of a sudden he finds himself right on the rear wheel of the race leader, Simon Langenfelder. He tries to jump through the turn. We said Langenfelder's lead was fragile, even more so this time around. Both riders looking for that slingshot momentum. The track crews have done work on the downhill, but they left the ruts at the bottom of the hill there just to keep things technical and interesting. All right, Everts looking to go around the outside of the German at the end of the straight. We saw him do it twice on Adamo. He's not close enough to execute the move here on Langenfelder this time around, though. Everts definitely looks up for this one, doesn't he? Couldn't hold the lead once he got it on lap 3 in race 1 and lost it on lap 8 to the guy who's chasing him down, or is chasing down now, Simon Langenfelder. And he couldn't keep Adamo at bay either, who passed him for 2nd 3 laps later. Nice move for Everts. Langenfelder knows he's there, though. Nervous faces on the looks of their crew chiefs as they reach the end of lap 4. Everts around the outside of Langenfelder takes over the lead, and with their fastest lap of the race as well. The Astana-Husqvarna rider back in front as he was in race 1, and as he was, I think, at the start of the race, just as Sasha Kunin fell out of the lead. He's got good drive here. Again, Langenfelder might tap into that line a little later on. This is where he found his way past Everts in the first race. Everts holds that inside line again. Banks that pass in the memory bank, just in case. And he puts that line to good use this time around. Look at Thibault Benistant closing in 3rd in red on the number 9. He's found his way past Adamo. That was on lap 3. And he definitely looks up for the fight here, doesn't he? Still 4 points off of the podium, though. But he knows a good result here may just get him there. And the way that he's closing in on the 2 leaders now, listen to the crowd to his left. Everts just starting to hold things up here, or is it the fact that Langenfelder, sensing Everts could just sneak away, doesn't want to put the top step of the podium in jeopardy? He's definitely going to think on his feet, though, isn't he? He's going to have to, because as he goes inside, Benistant goes around the outside. He's going to get better drive here. And he moves up into 2nd. Fans on their feet, and he takes the German wide, takes him out to the bank. Benistant now up into 2nd place. And Adamo right behind him, feet off the pegs for the German. He's not clean, and he loses 3rd, or does he? Adamo, side by side, bar to bar, as they head up over the triple. Cuts back to the inside. Thought about a sneaky line. It almost worked for him as well, the rider in blue. Right, the Italian, he is locked onto Everts' line here. Doesn't get the clean drive. And Langenfelder knows that his fellow Red Bull KTM rider, not necessarily his teammate, is there. Went too defensive. Adamo sneaks up into third place at the top of the hill. And he's coming back for more, is the German. It's important that he maintains focus and doesn't let his head fall off here. With all of this going on around him, he's lost second, he's lost third, he's now down in fourth place. Look who's closing in the background as well, Kaz Volk on the Van Venrooy KTM. What a performance this is here for your former 125 European champion and the rider who finished third in the European 250 Championship, which is the level below MX2. That was last year. Volk, the second rider in shot any moment now on the 172. 8th in race one, having came from outside the top 15 in difficult conditions, on-off rain, a slick track, wet track, sticky track, then a dry track. Nothing in it between the top two, about a second, but it's Thibault Benistant on the Yamaha, urged on by the fans just here, who sets the fastest lap of the race, a 1:47.7. Everts was a 1:48.6. And you can see that gap is coming down. It's shrinking in his favour. Everts launching through that left-hand turn. Highest point of the racetrack. Grey clouds on the horizon once again. Are we going to get a shower in the next 18 minutes plus 2 laps or thereabouts? We hope not. The riders hope not. They all look like they've gone out with laminate tear-offs on their goggles. Doesn't look like there's any roll-offs amongst the top runners. As long as it stays dry, though, they are okay. But the Nistan Husqvarna of Liam Everts at the moment, as it stands right now, a third in race one, a potential win here would see him on 45 points. Langenfelder would be on 43, Adamo on 42, and Benistant on 38. That's why he is so interested in finding his way to the lead. It'll give him another 3 points. Remember, 25 points for a win, 22 per second. Muscles his way down the inside. Listen to that crowd. Benistant leads on lap 7. Oh, Everts a little squirrely coming out of that final turn. He's got Adamo breathing down his neck all of a sudden. The fans like it. I'm sure the team are enjoying this as well. The rider maybe not enjoying it so much though at the minute is the number 26 of Everts. Under attack once again from Adamo. Follows him in, replicates the line over that little double, that momentum carried uphill. Langenfelder only about a second further back, and Volk about a second and a half further back. Coming into view now, and he's got De Wolf alongside him. There may be a change of position as we hit the top of the hill here between the two Dutch riders. Keep an eye on that because De Wolf up into 5th, Volk into 6th. Thibault Benistant, can he keep his head about him? He's 1 point off of the podium at the moment. And he's not going to be helped if Adamo can find his way past Everts. Holds a tight line. A drag race between the KTM and the Husqvarna. Everts is going to have to cut back to the inside here, but he doesn't. He carries that momentum around the outside. Adamo now back into 2nd place. So with 15 minutes plus 2 to go, Benistant leads, Adamo 2nd, Everts 3rd, Langenfelder and De Wolf now 5th. 8 laps in the books. Thibault Benistant with a 1:47.829 last time around, but Adamo now in the second with the fastest lap of the race, only by about 4/10. But he has Benistant about a second and a half further up the track. That's how close he is. It's tantalisingly close to a potential race win. His first on a Sunday in the 3 rounds that we've had so far. He won a qualifying race, the first of the year in Argentina. Did Adamo, the former world champion. And now he's there in second place. He said in his pre-grid interview he was feeling good about the conditions, feeling good about the track and the bike and everything else. And he's showing it once again here in race 2. And Adamo in the driving seat in terms of the overall classification, because 44 points, 2 second-place finishes if he stays where he is going to be 1 point more than Langenfelder here on the 27, with a win and a 14, win and a 4th, 25 and an 18. And Thibault Benistant is on the podium on 41, Everts on 40. Still a lot, still everything to play for in this Grand Prix. Langenfelder has put his head back on. Fell off a couple of laps ago when he went from 2nd to 4th. He's now got his sights set back on Everts and eyeing up a move into 3rd place. That'll give him the overall Grand Prix. And I wonder if the crew have told him that on the board as well. He chucks it down the inside. Everts out drags him though on the face of the jump. But what a race this second race has been, with the conditions now absolutely prime. Liam Everts under attack here. 9 laps complete. Simon Langenfelder on the Red Bull KTM, the orange machine, the second rider in shot, number 27, all over the back of the Nissan Husqvarna, the white bike. As it stands right now, Andrea Adamo, who's got himself into 2nd on the Yamaha, will win the overall Grand Prix with 2 second-place finishes. Langenfelder here, the 27, will be 2nd overall on 43, 1 point adrift, unless he can find his way past Everts. Everts here, just in front of him on that white machine. Benistant is on the podium. He leads the race. He cannot do any more than he's doing right now. He is on 41 points, and Liam Everts is just off of the podium on 40 with 2 third-place finishes. So 20 in race 1, 20 in race 2. So a lot at stake here. And look who is joining the party slowly but surely in the background. Number 1, Kai de Wolf. 2 bad starts today. 6th in race 1. He's currently 5th at the moment in race 2. He's not eyeing up a podium. He's too far out for that. But he's needing every single point he can get. So too, Simon Langenfelder. Did he think about cutting back to the inside there, then realise he couldn't get through because Everts was there? Everts definitely knows the German is there now, and he does muscle his way down the inside of the Belgian. Langenfelder up to 3rd. Problem is, though, we are in amongst traffic. This is the kind of test that Liam Everts did not get in Spain a week ago. A mistake there from Langenfelder. Yeah, long way round there, and he lights up the back end. That's going to bring Kai de Wolf into play. As you can see, all over the back of the Belgian now. This is for 4th. Everts has been good through here all day, though. Well, certainly all through the second race. But equally efficient, and even more so. De Wolf finds his way past his teammate, moves up into 4th place. Flexing his muscles, wants to show that he is the best rider in MX2, the fastest rider in MX2. He's 6 seconds off the lead at the moment, but his lap times in traffic not too different to those around him. Unbelievably, 48.5 Benistant, 48.6 Adamo in 2nd, 49.5 Langenfelder, 48.9 de Wolf. That definitely helps out Thibault Benistant here, with Everts out of the picture. Going to be on the podium. He'll lose 3 points here, though. if he gets caught and passed by Adamo. 25 for the win, 22 for second, 20 for third, 18, 16, 15, and then 14 single-digit gaps then down to 20th, where you get one World Championship point. Sasha Coonan, who had an absolutely almighty crash on the opening lap whilst leading, he has picked himself up, rejoined the race. He is up into 16th position. He's 13 seconds down on Rick Elzinga, though. Montreal's Yamaha, Thibault Benistant legging his way through that very deep rut on the left-hand side. He wasn't clean over there. He had a 1.3 second advantage. It's probably less than that now. Andrea Adamo, proving that he's not going anywhere. Didn't get off to the best start in round one. Technical issue forced him out of the race in race one, the first race of the year. Bounced back with a second in race two, and then under difficult conditions in Spain at Cosa a week ago. A ninth and a third left him fifth overall. He got a second in race one today. He's second at the moment, and he's pushing on for a potential race win. And that would be very much needed as well, because Adamo has not won a race since the first race in Spain last year at round 6. Those race wins very much in short supply for the Italian. So round 6 of 20, we're now 3 rounds into 2025. That is a long time between drinks for the 2023 MX2 World Champion. Simon Langenfelder, a win in race 1, third in race 2. Currently leads the overall classification, but the pace in which Kai de Wolf of the Netherlands, the number 1, the reigning champion, on the Nissan Husqvarna behind him, the rate in which he is closing in on the German suggests that that is now, just like his lead was earlier on in the race, very, very fragile. Take a look at the start and maybe also get a replay of the Sasha Coonan crash as well. Kai de Wolf, left of the box, about 4 gates in. He thought he'd get a better jump this time around, but it was the 2 KTMs of Sasha Coonan and Langenfelder. Langenfelder led uphill and through the next couple of corners, but it's what happened next after that. Watch this here. Sasha Coonan on the next downhill, just cross-rutted here, caught a soft patch. Guy is made of rubber. Sasha Coonan now up to 16th place. So Kai de Wolf closing in inch by inch, 10th of a second here, 10th of a second there. Still not able to do anything about Langenfelder though, who is eyeing up his first Grand Prix victory of the season. And for Langenfelder, who got third at the opening round, got 1 million podiums last year, but none of them on the top step. You have to go all the way back to Sweden in 2023, 5 rounds from the end of the season, to find Langenfelder's last win. But with 6 minutes to go, Langenfelder on top in the overall standings. Working our way towards the end of lap 13. Back markers yielding as Thibault Benistant comes through, closely followed by Andrea Adamo. The gap 1.2 seconds. Your race leader about a 10th quicker that time around, so absolutely nothing in it between them. Pretty much even, Stephen. Langenfelder 3.3 seconds further back. He can't afford to relax. Not with de Wolf closing in on him. But de Wolf has dropped a couple of seconds. And Everts 2 seconds further back as well, in 5th place. Volk 6, Zanke 7, Valin 8, McClellan 9, Braceras in 10th. Sasha Coonan closing in on Rick Elzinga. Got that gap down to about 7 or 8 seconds. Thibault Benistant What a race this is turning out to be for him. I'm not going to say he's not going to win the overall Grand Prix, because just under 5 minutes plus 2 to go, anything can happen, but he is 4 points off of the top step of the podium at the moment in third. Langenfelder on 45, Adamo 44, Benistant 41. Adamo will win the Grand Prix, though, if he finds his way into the lead here with a pass on the Frenchman. That'll send the crowd quiet over there, won't it? Nicely up on the pegs, rails that outside line, Thibault Benistant. That's bought him a little bit of time, perhaps. The gap was 1.4 at the last split. Maybe slightly more than that now. Well, 1.2 then. But the tenacity, the bulldog spirit of the number 80, Andrea Adamo, not letting off the hook, Thibault Benistant. Wow. Tell you what, a little bit offline there, but he manages to salvage it. A mistake there for Thibault Benistant as well. Absolutely nothing in it at the top end of the circuit. We're on lap 15. Thibault Benistant with about a 3/4 of a second advantage over Andrea Adamo on the number 80. But it's the number 9 who continues to lead as he launches downhill once again. Adamo held up by a back marker, perhaps. That may have just done Benistant a favour. The back markers really need to be a lot more mindful. See the race leader come through, have a look across, make sure there's nobody else right there, because invariably there always is. Gap going from 0.7 at 1.2 seconds. You know what, when you're at this kind of intensity, this kind of speed, your focus is so sharp that you barely make a mistake. But it's when you have about 5 or 6 seconds and your mind is sometimes allowed to wander and you're thinking about this and that, that you make those mistakes. And I tell you what, Andrea Adamo, he may have got held up by a back marker a few corners ago, but he's all over the back and he takes over the lead. Oh, he was so far back, he should never have made the pass there. The crowd quiet on the hill. Adamo leads for the first time in race 2. Benistant coming back for more. Sends the crowd into a frenzy once more. What a race this is. Adamo looking to square him off and dives down the inside. What a line that was from the Italian. Come from out of nowhere. You saw him set it up as he went up the hill. He went so far wide, he was almost in Paris. Came back direction Bordeaux, snuck down the inside and caught Benistant unawares. Now it's Adamo's turn to get caught behind traffic. Racialist stalls the engine. That's through the first turn. Racialist in 16th. Adamo looking nervously over his shoulder every time he approaches the lap riders. Doesn't know whether to go left or right. Looks across thinking, have I lost time? Has Benistant caught me? Saad Suleimani has to move out of the way here. Again, he's seen Adamo go by. Saad Suleimani just needs to move out of the way. I know he's in his own race, but not looking around, not being vigilant. Benistant does find his way past, but Langenfelder and De Wolf are closing in on the Frenchman. Here's your race leader, Andrea Adamo. He is going to be your overall winner if he stays where he is. Fans still urging Benistant on because he's only got about a second and a half in pocket. Andrea Adamo did not win a Grand Prix last year as the reigning champion. Finland was his last success in 2023. 6 rounds from the end of the campaign. Still not in the bag yet, though, is it? Because if Thibault Benistant finds second or third wind and finds his way back into the lead with a move on the Italian, then guess what? He may just hand the victory to this rider here overall, Simon Langenfelder. He's done well to keep De Wolf at bay. But how much longer can he sustain the attack from behind? The number 27 here. This is the gap between first and second, just over a second, between Andrea Adamo and Thibault Benistant. Both riders very comfortable on these rocky surfaces because of where they're from geographically. The Italian used to riding these circuits at home. Benistant absolutely is. Rails the outside, that's where he left the door open and let Adamo in. And right now he's finding it difficult to close him down. 3 laps to go, the 2-lap board goes out this time around. The final 2 laps, it's about 1:48 a lap time per lap. Neither of these two are going to back off. Benistant will be third overall if he stays where he is. He will still be third overall if he finds his way past the race leader. He'll just gain 3 vital points in the championship. But it'll be Langenfelder on the top step, if that's the case. Oh, 4 riders locked together by about 5 seconds. Oh, De Wolf turns left instead of right at the top of the hill. Catches the edge of the rut. That's how hard he was pushing. And De Wolf blinks. Langenfelder off the hook. He can maybe now focus on pulling a move back on Benistant even. Just over a lap to go. Andrea Adamo, back mark here, looking over his shoulder. That's Kenton Prunier, the French rider. Thibault Benistant again tries that inside option through the rhythms at the top of the hill. He closes in even more. Will he rail the outside at the bottom of the hill? Well, Adamo's taking a different line. He was unsure of the line. Whoa! Talk about pushing the front end. How did Benistant stay up there? Chucking everything at Adamo, even his bike there. 6/10 in it, everything on the line here. This will decide the outcome of the Grand Prix. Not for this guy, but the rider is chasing down Andrea Adamo. Everybody on their feet. Watch this here. Somehow he manages to save it. He had a similar moment yesterday at the bottom of the long hill through the left-hander on his way to the qualifying race win. He's only got one thing on his... one thong? Might have that on his mind too, who knows? He's only got one thing on his mind, Thibault Benistant. And that is 25 points and a race win. He knows the French fans will like nothing more, but they cannot knock his effort. He's alongside the Italian at the top of the hill. He'll come back to the inside here. He wants better drive. He gets it through the waves. Oh, he goes left. Adamo goes right and defensive. There's a move, there's a line around the outside here. If you hit it sweetly, you can gain momentum. Adamo loses a leg off the peg. Ah, oh, how close. Adamo nervously looking over his shoulder. Benistant, he's already committed to the outside. Maybe just a little bit too far wide though, and he's cost himself about a half a second. That may be all that Adamo needs to go on and win this race. An absolute grandstand finale here for race 2 in MX2. Again, he's coming back for more, Thibault Benistant. Adamo thinks he's got it. Benistant thinks he can still nick it. But it's Adamo who wins the race. He wins the French Grand Prix here, the MXGP of Europe. Adamo victorious again. And you can see what it means to him. He's knocked his teammate off the top step with that victory as well. Andrea Adamo. What a performance from Thibault Benistant as well. It was a disappointing title defence for Andrea Adamo. Only 2 victories in 2023 on his way to the World Championship. The last in Finland, 6 rounds from the end of the season. Kay de Wolf and Everts give each other a hug. But the overall Grand Prix victory belongs to Andrea Adamo for the first time in more than 18 months. What a way to kick the second half of the afternoon off here. So Adamo wins by half a second over Thibault Benistant. Langenfelder third, 5.5 seconds further back. De Wolf fourth, Everts fifth, Volk, Zanke, Vallat, McClellan and Braceras. A Herculean effort for Sasha Coonan, who crosses the line now in 14th place. Absolutely battered and bruised. Rubberman will make it to the next round, I'm sure. But this is not the Grand Prix that he wanted. But how big is Coonan's heart? One of the smallest riders on the track, but man, that is all heart from the Belgian here this weekend. We will get to hear from our winner, Andrea Adamo, in just a moment. Finally gets his win. There is a picture. Sasha Coonan. 2 crashes too many. He'll go back, lick his wounds, come back fighting in 2 weeks' time at round 4. Thibault Benistant, 3rd overall, got himself on the podium. He was 5th in race 1, 2nd in race 2. Great performances all round, but none more so than Andrea Adamo. He had a fight on his hands, a first win, a long overdue win for a race and an overall Grand Prix victory.
Andrea Adamo, massive congratulations. First race win of the year, first overall victory of the year. You've waited a long time for that, but well deserved. That final lap defending that lead, wow.
Yeah, it was amazing. In fact, it's a long time. 1 year and a half, I don't know how many days it's, how many months, but wow, it feels good. We went through tough last year, and now, yeah, I'm happy to be back, to feel again that fire, to feel that I can be competitive. And wow, the last lap was insane. Thibault was pushing a lot, and it's not easy with these ruts, because if you miss a little bit out of the corner, it's not easy. But I'm super happy, and yeah, I hope to keep this momentum.
Well deserved, thanks.
If you can lip read, mamma mia, as the microphone was pulled away there from Lisa Leyland. But long overdue, around about 18 months between drinks, between race wins, between Grand Prix victories for Andrea Adamo, the Red Bull KTM factory rider, on the top step of the podium here. Round 3 in 2025, edging out Simon Langenfelder and Thibault Benistant. What a race that was. We'll give you the classification now then. Andrea Adamo picking up the 25 points for the win in race 2. Thibault Benistant 2nd overall on the Monster Energy Yamaha. The 2nd of the Red Bull KTMs, then Simon Langenfelder 3rd. The 2 Nastan Husqvarnas 4th and 5th of De Wolf and Everts, and then the Van Venrooy KTM of Kaz Volk. Honda HRC's Ferruccio Zanke, and then Kawasaki Racing Team's Mattis Valin with 8th. Camden McClellan on the Monster Energy Triumph, and then David Braceras on the JM Honda. Then we had Julius Mikkola, Rick Elzinga, Auriol Oliver, Sasha Coonan. What a ride through that was for him after that big crash. We'll see it in the highlights, I'm sure. Valerio Latta 15th, Carlos Racialis, who stalled, he ended up in 16th place. And then the last points going to Mike Guerda, Bence Pergel, Scott Smulders and Samuel Nielsen. The overall classification belongs to Andrea Adamo. The first win in more than a year, a 2-1 to secure the top step of the podium on the Red Bull KTM. His teammate joins him, Simon Langenfelder, and then Thibault Benistant, giving something for the French fans to go home smiling about. The Yamaha man third overall, Everts and De Wolf rounding out your top 5. Another stunning performance, though, from Kaz Volk in 6th, catching the eye of everybody. And for Volk, that is 3 6 overall finishes in the first 3 rounds. 3 6 overall finishes in the first 3 rounds, yeah. Just make sure I said that right. Liam Everts continues to lead the championship. He's on 135, Langenfelder 132, De Wolf on 130. Adamo has just thrown his hat in the ring as well. He sits there just 6 points further back in 4th. Thibault Benistant up to 5th now after his performance here this weekend. In the manufacturer's classification, here's how things look. KTM have leapfrogged Husqvarna. They take over the top spot there for now. Look how close it is, though, between them. Yamaha up to 3rd, Honda down to 4th, then we've got Triumph, TM and Kawasaki. Aren't too many Kawasaki's out there that can bag decent points. Take a look at the foxhole shot right at the start of the race. It was very, very tight, wasn't it? Sasha Kunin for his 2nd of the season. Nice glasses, Sasha. His 19th career foxhole shot. His last was race 2, Cordoba, the opening round. And he's the only rider now to double up on foxhole shots this year. Great aerial view of the racetrack. We're getting ready to go down to the podium. And it'll be a noisy podium, one way or another. Whether it's Adamo coming out screaming and shouting, whether it's Thibault coming out 3rd overall to the roar of the French fans. Thibault Benistant, 3rd overall, Monster Energy Yamaha Factory MX2. He made it to the podium. It was going to be 3rd overall even if he found his way past Andrea Adamo. And look, a little bit of drizzle in the air once again. Simon Langenfelder, 2nd overall, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing on the Ducati side of things. And for Langenfelder, his 2nd podium of the campaign. But the overall winner with his 1st visit to the podium. Well, if you're going to visit the podium for the first time, it's about time. Andrea Adamo found the top step of the podium. First time since 2023. And this one will taste good tonight. Joel Smets, the team manager, will join him and will take the team trophy. But round Finland, round 15 in 2023, the last time Adamo stood on the top step of the podium. Dignitaries handing out the awards here then. 3rd overall for Thibault Benistant, Mr. Daniel Lagarde, the CDC Val de Santon representative, I guess, handing him his 3rd place trophy. They all put absolutely everything and more into that race. Good job, guys. Jean-Marie Boissonneau, the MCA president. 2nd overall for Simon Langenfelder, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. He knows a win went begging today, but he'll be back in Sardinia in 2 weeks' time to give it another go. Patrick Berthaud, the FFM vice president. Andrea Adamo, your overall winner here, the MXGP of Europe in the MX2 category at Saint-Jean-d'Angely. Long overdue race win and overall victory for the Italian and former world champion. Joel Smets, 5-time world champion, team manager to the Red Bull KTM squad, taking a team trophy back to base later on tonight. Championship leader's red plate. He earned it in the qualifying race. He's managed to get through 2 races today. Liam Everts, the Stan Husqvarna Factory Racing, will lead as we go to the deep sand of Riola Sarda in Sardinia in 2 weeks' time. Liam Everts in red when he goes to Sardinia. But for Andrea Adamo and his Italian fans, the Italian national anthem.
Venir le moment d'écouter et de célébrer, mesdames et messieurs, l'hymne national du vainqueur italien.
Andrea Adamo reigns in Saint-Jean d'Angely as he stands on the top step for the first time in 2025, flanked by Red Bull KTM teammate Simon Langenfelder and Monster Energy Yamaha's Thibault Benistant. Benistant, the body language there suggests he could have won the Grand Prix. Anyway, here's what happened a few moments ago in MX2 Race 2. Gates dropped over on the left-hand side. The number 1 of Kai de Wolf, a few positions over. It was the 19 of Sasha Kunin who bagged his second Foxhole shot of the year, duked alongside the 27 of Simon Langenfelder. Mattis Valland was there in 3rd. Everts was there as well. He went from 4th to 2nd in a couple of corners as he put in some sweet lines. But watch what happens here to Sasha Kunin on the first descent. Catches a soft patch when he jumps too long, around about now. Cross ruts, throws himself down the track. Lightning doesn't strike twice, does it? Or maybe it does. Exactly the same thing happened to him last year as well. Adamo got caught napping as Everts moved into 2nd place and then went after Langenfelder to take over the lead. And from there, it looked like he was going to start to pull away. And Thibault Benistant joined the party as well. Took Langenfelder wide. That was for 2nd. Adamo then got the better of the number 27 as he moved into 3rd and set about chasing down the Frenchman, Benistant. Benistant then snuck up the inside of Everts, got his elbows out, took over the lead. And that was on lap 11. Oh, that was for 4th, sorry. And then Langenfelder, Everts, what a move this was as well. Andrea Adamo up the inside of Thibault Benistant. That was for the lead and the Grand Prix victory. This is how tight it was on the run towards the finish line. A few corners out, was only about a second in it. Adamo, your winner. Benistant 2nd, Langenfelder 3rd, and your overall Grand Prix victory belonging to Adamo. Langenfelder 2nd, Thibault Benistant 3rd. We are going to take a break. We'll be back in about a minute and a half's time. Join us for MXGP Race 2. We'll see you then.